know what God desires, and we all know what God hates. But how many of us are afraid to make like God angry? How many of us want to please God? How many of us are careful with the words that we say, how we speak to people, how we walk, how we talk, how we do things, so that we do not make God angry? So it is important for us, be mindful of the things that you do. Be mindful of our behavior, of our action, how we act, how we behave, how we talk, how we walk. We should be an example to the people outside. Because of the things that you do. We should be careful not to make God angry. That's one of the things that I love about Job, that he was afraid to make God angry. Some of us, like, we are just not afraid to make God angry. We just don't care whether he's angry with us or he's pleased with us. We do what we do however we want to do it. We do not mind our action. We don't care how we act. We do not care how we behave. Like, we just do things and we be like, I'll just pray and God will forgive me, and we move on. We're just like crucifying Christ over and over and over again, God, mistakes and the sins that we commit and stuff like that. So it is important for us, like, to be watchful of how we act and the things that we do, so that we please God in everything that we do. How we speak, how we act should glorify God. And the other version, the Message, it says he was honest inside and out. So Job, like, when it comes to his relationship with God, he was not tripping, he was not pretending. This guy was honest inside out. So everything that he was doing outside, we got on the inside. So I believe that he had his own relationship with God. He was not practicing like religion. He was not going to church for people to see him. He was like a living church himself. He was not doing things for people to see who he's a church goer, he's a righteous guy, he's a great guy, he's a good guy, he's an honest guy. Like, indeed, he was honest inside out. Even God knew that in his private place, like, he was what he says he was, like, on the outside, That's what I also love about Job, that he was an honest guy inside out, and he was a man of his word. The Message version says that he was a man of his word. So whatever that Job says he will do is exactly what he will do. Like, he was a reliable guy. Like, if he said that I'm gonna do this, like, he's gonna stick to his word and do whatever that he wants to do. And how many of us have promised God, okay, God, like, if you bless me, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna pray, I'm gonna fast, I'm gonna do this. And when God blesses us, like, we forget about everything that we said. We forget about the commitment we made to God. We forget about the promises that we made. How many of us do that? But it's time for us to change. This message is not there to condemn or judge or do anything. I'm just like highlighting stuff in J, and I'm not on verse 1. We are just like passing by. And the Bible also tells us that he was totally devoted to God and hated evil with passion. Like, this guy was totally devoted to God. He was not half devoted. He was not 70 devoted. Like, he gave his all to God. And that's the problem with the generation of today, is like, we are not totally devoted to God. We are one leg in, one leg out. We are like lukewarm. We do not know exactly what is going on with us. Sometimes we praise God, sometimes we don't want. We come to God only when we want things. Like, we come to God when things are rough, when things are good. We forget about God and stuff like that. The Bible tells us that this guy, he was like totally devoted to God, and he hated evil with passion. And some of us here, we are like flirting with evil, thinking that I don't know, but we are just like playing around with evil. We are flirting with evil, we are flirting with sin, thinking that it's okay to like live with sin, flirt with sin, and play around with sin, thinking that we'll just ask for forgiveness and God will forgive us. We should like remember, guys, that God is light, and in him there is no darkness at all. And if we say that we have a relationship with God and we still go about doing the things of the darkness, working in the darkness, the Bible tells us in 1 John 1:5 that we deceive ourselves and the truth of God is not in us. And if we say we are the light as he is the light and walk in the light,